Moving wrong notions is the way to mindfulness. So don't forget the metaphor that we have been talking about it, and we discussed. The master says the first 18 verses summarizes everything. So today we are going to look at verse number 14 and along with the verse number 13. So we know the metaphor, the pure canvas, and then it is starched, and then we have a sketching of what painting should appear on the canvas. So that has been compared, metaphor has been compared with the pure consciousness is one, pure consciousness is one, then second is the causal state, then the third is the reflected consciousness, or we can say the mind or reflected consciousness, and the world outside. I have already covered that. So this reflected consciousness, or whatever we say, the mind, works by three factors. If three factors are absent, then the mind is confused. Take an example. I know you. Or I can say, this is you. So the moment I say, this is you, mind says, I am here. You are there. And the knowledge between the two. I know brandy means this is brandy, that is me, and the knowledge between the two. The Trinity, it works with the Trinity. Pure consciousness doesn't work with the Trinity. Why it doesn't work with the Trinity? Think of it. Why it does not work with the Trinity? Because it does not divide the world outside, me inside, and the knowledge. Pure consciousness is of the nature of the knowledge. It is self-luminous. It is self-evident. What is self-evident? Pick up that understanding. What is self-evident? Where is Stephen? There it is. Where I am? I am here. Did you get some idea about it? No. Let us give another example. The moment we ask someone else where that guy is, oh, let me find out. Now when I say, where are you? Do you say that it will take few minutes to find out? Let me find out where I am. You never say that. I am here and now. So this I am here and now is self-evident. That is why we use the word self-evident and self-luminous. So the mind has three factors all the time to acquire and gain the knowledge. Mind divides itself into I am, into you are, and then into the knowledge. Once you have understood this, what the masters are saying, master says use it and remain dissociate with it naturally. We do it all the time. Now, give us an example. We are driving the car, we park the car in the garage and we dissociate with it. So that dissociation is known as the negation that I covered last week. So when I negate what is not me, the verse 14 says, what is left? The remainder that cannot be negated. I cannot say that this is not me, and that is the real self. I believe you get it. We will expand it. I'm using a computer now, and once the session is over, I dissociate myself. There is a natural dissociation. It happens by default. So that is the meaning of negation. Negation is not a negative word. You are hungry, food is served on the plate, you eat it and dissociate it naturally. Then you do not think about the food. Understand it clearly. The mind will remain all the time blank. Mind will remain all the time empty. And that emptiness is the mindfulness. So there is a doubt arise in the mind that why we are not able to dissociate. Why we are not able to dissociate. When we are not able to dissociate, then comes the attachment and detachment, then comes the problem, and that is what we are suffering from. Again, understand in a different way. In a simple way. This is David, this is Stephen, this is monitor means I am not this. This is negation. So now see where problem comes. Too far objects. We have no problem. This is sun, this is moon, this is monitor, this is computer, this is car, this is home. So now see that to whom you can use this. Can I use this as body? Yes, this is body. Means I am not this. This is mind? Yes, I am not this. This is the thought? Yes, I am not the thought. This is intellect? Yes, but I am not the intellect. Can I maintain that awareness? This is the negation. And you see the beauty of understanding the same intellect understands what I am speaking. And we get dissociated with the intellect. We use the same card, dissociate. So it's very easy for us to dissociate ourselves naturally, which is far off objects. But then it becomes a bit difficult. This is the honey. But if you say, I'm dissociated, people take it in a negative way. But we are definitely dissociated. We are a different entity with reference to the body, breath, mind, intellect. But we don't get dissociated. There the mind comes, it adds likes and dislikes, it adds attachment and detachment, it adds pain and pleasure, it attaches preferences. So the association continues. That is why my mind is wandering. Are you getting it? Say yes. It's so simple. I'm making it so simple. So too far objects that the mind perceives, there is a dissociation by default. And too near objects, that includes the body, the mind, the breath, thoughts and feeling and emotions, emotional bondage and the baggage, and the relations, we are not able to dissociate. Why we are not able to dissociate? Because of ignorance. What is that ignorance? Because I will be happy. I am seeking peace and happiness from this, not this. This but not this. So the master says, I am and I am not. What is I am not? I am not is this. Where are you? I am here. Where is your friend? Let me find out if he is there or not. Where are you? You don't say that, wait, let me find out where I am. Then I'll tell you. Wait for a fraction of seconds. Where you are, I'm here. You don't need a distance in the time. The mind is not divided into three. That is what the mindfulness is. That is the beauty of this master, the way he explains. To clarify and to live into that awareness, he uses the word mithya. What is false, dissociate through the awareness. Even the science uses the method of elimination. We use the power of discernment and dispassion. See that? Look at it. Method of elimination in order to find out what exactly this matter is. We use the power of discernment and dispassion. So in the verse 13, we have been understanding what is false. First, we recognize what is false. How? If I am there or I am not. So what is I am not? I am not is this. Find out where you can label this is not you. This is honey does not mean that we hate honey. We are simply saying that this is honey, different, separate, I am not there. So the moment you say I am not there, mind starts dropping the attachment, preferences, likes and dislikes, the duality and the conflict. This is honey. It means, why should I have a conflict? Think. So negation has nothing to do with any negative connotation. So negation, the word is used in English translation. Negation means dissociation. Dissociation means that I drop attachment, emotional baggage from my mind. That is the meaning of negation. And it is so simple. We want to make it complex. Why mind makes it complex? Because we carry the baggage of attachment and detachment and likes and dislikes and preferences and a desire and the craving with the people, with the body, with the mind, with the breath, with the wrong notions. So our master is saying, drop all those wrong notions. Use the ear, dissociate. At present you have to use your ears. And then you have to dissociate. That is the meaning of understanding the mithya. Mithya means the false. Do you still remember? Mithya. Do you still remember the mithya? The first factor of how to recognize this is. That is the meaning of the false. Mithya 1. First understanding, it is constantly changing. Second understanding, we cannot say it exists. We cannot say it does not exist. I experience the mirage water, the water in the mirage. So I cannot say it does not exist because I experience it. But when I analyze it, When I go near, I don't see the water, it is non-existent. That is the nature of the mithya, the false. That is why we dissociate. You dissociate, you need not to control any thoughts. The mind is already free. My mom, that much is okay. My dad, that is okay. My honey, that much. But see that. See that this is mom, this is dad, this is honey. What is associating? If the association is caused by the attachment and detachment, this mind is not going to calm down. So the first, in 4 different ways, the false has to be negated. The first, because it is changing. So dissociation. Because I cannot say it exists, I cannot say it does not exist, so it is in between the two, like the wave is in the water, mirage water. Does not have an independent existence, my friends. It does not exist independent. It depends on the real self. If I am conscious, then only I see the likes and dislikes. If I am not conscious, how can you understand likes and dislikes? So consciousness is present behind. And the 4th principle is very important of the mithya. We see the sun rises in the morning. But when we analyze, we find the sun is not rising in the morning. There is nothing to do with sun rises in the morning or evening. Our sun rises with attachment, our sun sets with the detachment. That needs to be dropped. Now see in the verse 14, this master goes, it blows our mind. So he says that did you analyze this is. Yes, we have analyzed. So then this master says, what is a remainder is you. Not reminder. What is a remainder? What is left? Can I say this I is this one? This I, this is I? No. I gave an example, simple example. Where are you? I am here. Are you aware that you have transcended the time and the space? Where are you? I'm here. Where is Stephen? Let me check. It takes time and the space. Where is Brandy? Where is Terry? Why it takes time? Because that is this. That is not I. Are you getting it? We are going deeper because he summarizes the entire journey in 18 verses, and then we still have the doubts, and he goes on removing all the doubts by understanding where we have to understand in the intellect. Then what we do with the intellect, we dissociate. So what happens when we dissociate? Emptiness, nothingness, mindfulness. Just by understanding. And then what? By regular contemplation and reflection, what happens? We weaken. What we weaken? Think of it. We weaken the craziness of the mind. We weaken the craziness of the mind. We destroy the false that has been living with us for so many years. And we lead the mind to realization of the real self. Let me repeat it again. The entire Eastern wisdom, any text and every text, teaching by one master, by all the masters, contains three factors. That how to weaken all our thoughts, behavior, and action that causes the suffering, pain, duality, and anxiety. We weaken their intensity and their frequency. That is why we are learning. That is why we are understanding this. Second is we destroy the ignorance, wrong notions, error in perception. We destroy the causes by which the mind gets upset. Third, we lead the mind to peace and happiness. If we understand clearly these three factors, from any teaching, whether it's a Buddha or Krishna or Shiva or any yoga or the tantra. So these three together is known by a word known as Upanishad. So there are two ways to understand Upanishad. One Upanishad are a group of texts. And other way to understand the Upanishad is a knowledge by which we weaken what causes the problem, we destroy the ignorance, and we lead the mind to peace and happiness. That is why we have been understanding what exactly is mithya or the false. Just pay attention. So we have been contemplating what this is, this one. So in Eastern wisdom, the moment we recognize after analysis that this is Stephen. I cannot say Stephen is me. I cannot say. By analysis, this is David, this is Stephen, this is Anastasia, this is Brandy. Where are you? Are you there? Yes, I am. You don't need a time and space. So here the master says that what is left, what is a remainder that you cannot negate. You cannot dissociate. Can I dissociate myself from myself? And that is me. That is me. And what is that me? That is a pure consciousness. And that is what the mindfulness is. That is what the meditation is. Only the real self remains. Only the real self remains. And then go back, we started understanding how the mind acquires the knowledge. How my mind says this is Stephen. If I am is not present, I cannot say this is Stephen. And the knowledge between the two, that is the way the mind works. The mind has to work with the three factors. So how to recognize this? Wherever the mind is working with these three factors, which we normally say a triangular format. Triangular format, knower, known. Known means object. Here, in my case, the Stephen is an object and knower is me. And the knowledge between the two. Find out anything that you know does not have these three factors. But the problem with the mind is, mind or intellect here, problem of the mind and intellect is that It experiences the pain in the mind. It knows the pain in the mind. It knows the pleasure in the mind. It knows the attachment in the mind. It is not able to dissociate itself because we lack awareness. Why we lack awareness? Because we are living in ignorance. We are living with the wrong notion. So what this master says, you have a triangular format, are you clear? Yes, I'm clear. So he says, compress to the binary format. What is binary format? This and I am. Find out what I am not, just analyze it, contemplate it, reflect on it. So when you contemplate and reflect, you are weakening those thoughts which is causing you the stress and pain, which puts you into ignorance. Are you getting it? Triangular format into binary format. So what is that binary format? What I am and what I am not. How to analyze and recognize what I am? I am is always present. What I am not, it follows the time and distance and duality and everything. So the master says this means idam and I am is aham. This is sun. Can I say sun is me? No. Too far. See that. Can I say my home? No. It is near, but yes, I cannot say that this is me. So the problem comes, this is the body, and the mind says, I am the body, before you say anything. So there is a sense of attachment. What we need, if you go on further analyzing, why do you have a conflict? This is the body, you said, and still you claim that I am the body? Are you getting it? We are going deeper. The way I say this is the sun too far, this is the body is also too far. This is the mind is also too far. This is the thought is also too far. But because of the wrong notion, I say this is me. Mind says I have a lot of stress. So I am stress. See that? Why the concept of mithya has been introduced, the false, it is because of this. Label by understanding clearly that this is, and then come to I am. What is left is the remainder, is a binary format. I explained to you the triangular format and the binary format. Mind always works with the triangular format. So when we come to this, I am and I am not. I am dropping what is not me. So what is not me by dissociation? And that dissociation should take place in the mind. Normally people say, oh, yes, I'm a monk, I live in, So here what we say, this is the car. I use it, I'm not using now, so dissociation is a state of awareness to prevent any form of likes and dislikes and attachment and detachment. Then we recognize, here I am, that is always full of peace and happiness. So it moves, it expresses itself, it thinks, it speaks, and it acts in peace and happiness all the time. That is what the mindfulness is. That is what the meditation is. So work like like a science, method of elimination, what I am and what I am not. Constantly. Someone says you are crazy. To whom he is saying crazy? To the body. Because he recognizes your body. But this is body. So this is body, I'm not the body. Thank you very much. I am more crazy than you think. You are wonderful. So your expression is totally different. Look at any point of time. You are always with I am. You are not always with what I am not. You do not claim what I am from the point of view of I am not. And that demands not only just an awareness, that is the real meaning of living from a moment to moment. This is what this master has been saying in the verse 14. We have still the 4 verses where he summarizes the entire teaching, and then we will start removing even the little doubts we have. As long as the intellect or the mind has a doubt, it will not accept. So those doubts are removed only by an understanding, a reflection, so that this mind becomes simply free. Last point. Patanjali, another master who has written the text, he says by default this mind is 99%. Its nature is peace and happiness. No, I don't experience it because you are misusing the mind. Whose mind? Your mind. How? By attachment and detachment. By associating itself. What it causes? Causes the falsehood. The falsehood leads to the ignorance. That is the entire teaching of Patanjali. That is why he says the emptiness of the mind is nothing but the mindfulness. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Remember, we have to understand through the triangular format. There is no other way possible. But we can absorb into the binary format, and then ultimately we go into the unitary format. So let me give you a perspective of that by understanding. So eyes are closed. So you see the teacher is passing on the knowledge. Eyes closed, and you follow it. And the knowledge is there. That is why you follow. Look at it. We are not doing anything. It's almost, it's nothing but the non-practice. You are understanding. Knowledge is required. Intellect, your awareness is required. So are you settled in the comfort? Are you settled in the comfort? Comfort is an experience. Experience takes place in the mind. All experiences takes place in the mind. You are looking, you are analyzing I am and the experience. I am is the knowledge, and experience of the comfort is taking place in the mind. If consciousness is not there, you cannot experience any comfort or discomfort. That happens in deep sleep, in coma. That is one way to look at it. Triangular into binary format. So then what is left? I am is left. So what is this I am? I see it as only an awareness and consciousness, nothing else. Even in experiencing the state of comfort in the mind, look closely again. Look at the shoulder joints. Where is shoulder joint? This is shoulder joint. One thing is 100% clear, that I am not the shoulder joint. That is the remainder. So I have to use the mind. So use the mind. Are you using it? Yes. Consciously? Yes. So look at the shoulder joint. This is just a use. Okay. Then the mind says, I experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. That is also okay, but I'm aware. What I'm aware? This is shoulder joint. This experience is taking place in the mind. Not me. I'm different. The moment you are aware that I am separate, what do you mean? Dissociation. You drop the mithya, the false. What is left? What is the remainder? I am. And that I am has nothing to do with the body, breath, mind, intellect, ego, thoughts. It is just an emptiness. Look at it. Be very clear. We are using the last two verses in this journey today. One verse says, understand mithya. This constantly changing. We cannot claim that it exists, it does not exist. When we analyze it, it is always dependent. And when we analyze it in the intellect, we find it does not exist. Are you sure? Look at the entire body. Let us see, analyze it. You can see in your mind, this is the body light, this is the sun. Whenever we use this, whether for the sun or the body, so even the body is as far as the sun is. Where you see that? I see that the matter is different, separate from the consciousness. You cannot mix the two. They are superimposed, overlapping. Can we say overlapping is the mirage water, waves? What we are doing, we are dropping the false impressions accumulated in the mind. So what it says, this is the body and I am the body. You cannot say this is the body and I am the body. But 99.999% of our daily living, mind uses indirectly, I am the body. We lose awareness. We have to weaken that attachment, that clinging. How? By analysis. Not by practice in this session, just an awareness. You will experience changes, the body instantly becomes stiff and tight, freezes. You have more tingling sensation in the numbness. We analyze that too. Oh, so all these experiences are taking place in the mind. Can I say with a conformity, this is the mind? Yes. We know I'm not the mind. So is the experience different from the knowledge? Yes. Oh, that doesn't fit in my mind. Experience of the mirage water and the knowledge, they are two different. Experience of sun rises from the east and the knowledge are different. I can give an example. The wave is different from the water. I experience the waves. Oh, so I experience I am the body is different from the knowledge. What is the knowledge? I am not the body. So when you say I am not the body, you are aware, and that awareness drops the triangular format that I just explained you. What is left is the pure awareness. Contemplate and reflect. Saturday's journey is all about analyzing what comes to the mind, analyzing our experience and settling into the knowledge. It has nothing to do with hypnosis, it has nothing to do with creating a concept and living with that. No. What is the remainder is not a concept. What is remainder is you, is the real self, is the pure consciousness. That is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. It uses the principles and the concepts, and then it says, throw out all the concepts. You know what is the remainder. I know you don't need any other so-called step, but I keep on speaking to hold your attention of the mind so that you keep analyzing. Being carefree. So analyze it, being carefree. Like a scientist, free, carefree, it means that free from all the cares of the, who cares? Where I have created a wrong notion, I am. Body cares me? Yes, because body is comfortable. Body has nothing to care me. Mind? Yes, mind cares me. Mind tells me this is my experience of peace and happiness. This is my experience of attachment and detachment. This is my experience of pain and the suffering. Good. But what do you experience confirms the knowledge, the right knowledge. If it confirms, you'll have no thought. If it doesn't confirm, you will have doubt. Oh, that guy was staring at me. That guy insulted me. So we are already in the mode of attachment. How to drop that attachment? Negation. What is negation? Dissociation. What practice I have to do? No practice at all. Dissociation by understanding. What is understanding? is the knowledge. And what is that knowledge? We are analyzing, we are analyzing. I am not the body. I am not the mind who pulls me through its experiences like the mirror's water, like the sun rises in the morning. So is it not a wrong notion? Yes. So if we do not destroy the wrong notion, we will continue to live in the ignorance causes suffering. That is one aspect of it. Another aspect, method of negation. So by analyzing, the intellect follows that power of negation. I told you, power of negotiation, dissociation. Do you want to think where your car is parked, how it is? Do you want to think the problem in the car at this moment? No, you have already dissociated. Are you feeling hungry? No, I'm meditating at this time. Dissociation. See that? We do it naturally. So the best, anything can be the best. But what I say, this is, you recognize this is the body. Where you recognize? In the intellect. Where is recognition? It is a cognitive ability. It is an awareness. Thought is coming, thought is going. From nowhere, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are coming and going. I analyze why specific thoughts are coming and going. So analysis validates it is because of likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment, and the desire. You see, you are recognizing is a cognitive ability of the intellect that recognizes the thoughts are coming and going. Then go to the phrase I used, be carefree. Link it to the false. False is constantly changing. Thoughts are coming and going means it is constantly changing. It cannot be me. It exists and it does not exist. Yes, that is also true about every thought. It does not have an independent existence. If I am not conscious, as it happens in the sleep, I don't recognize any thought. That is also true. Oh, so when I analyze, the thoughts are coming and going, I already have a sense of freedom. That is the meaning of being carefree. You see, I gave another meaning, another understanding. Thought comes, this is the thought. Another thought, this is also the thought. Another feeling, this is also the feeling. Now I recognize the experience may dodge me, may cheat me. Because of association. What is dissociation? Negation. What is negation? Negation? In a very soft and gentle way, in the knowledge, in the intellect. What is that knowledge? This is the thought. This is the, almost it is like this is the sun. So when I say this is cognition, is not me. So simple, so easy. So we are not doing a practice so that I can say it is so simple and so easy. I cannot even say that. Do I say it is very difficult to recognize you, one person, and it is very easy to recognize other? No. That is why it is a non-practice. Again, I'm trying to make everything clear so that we can go deeper from the following week. Understand that clearly. No one can say, I recognize you, that's okay, that is it. You don't see the triangular format. You only see the binary format. This is you and here I am. So with the triangular format, the mind says, now I control you, I'm the mind. I like you, I hate you, I have jealousy for you, I have, and the millions of the thoughts. That makes the mind wandering. Association. Dissociation has nothing to do. The moment I speak you, it's a recognition. You recognize cognitive ability, the knowledge goes into the intellect or the mind. And that knowledge is nothing but the consciousness. Yeah, let me add another analysis and cognition. Experiencer is different from the knower. Knower. Knower settles in the awareness, and experiencer experiences through the five sense organs, the body. Both are happening in the mind. That creates lot of confusion, wrong notion. Knower, experiencer. So how to reach to the knower? By analysis. What is that analysis does? It drops the false. What is false? This is false. That is in one phrase. Another way, then we go deeper. The false means it is constantly changing, it appears true, but it is not true, and it does not have an independent existence. The mirror's water does not exist without the sand and the sun. But when we analyze, the mirror's water disappears, dissolves. You'll be amazed that because of that awareness, body dissolves, breath dissolves, mind dissolves. What is remainder is the consciousness. So again, don't get crazy that when I say the car dissolves, because I use the car, now I don't need the car. It is staying there in the garage. So when we carry those inhibitions, a strong clinging to the body, then it does not happen. And that is why the principle of the mithya has been introduced, the false has been introduced. Anytime you have a doubt, you have a right to ask the question. But this master makes everything clear. After the 18 verses, it goes in a detailed analysis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Bring it over your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Ask your mind. We live into the same awareness. What happened? Bring your hands down. We'll share our experiences if you have any question. So, how are you, Stephen?
Good, thank you. It was this week. I spent a lot of time thinking about the 1 hour a day of meditation and how it makes me feel, and this concept of how do we do this 24/7?
Yes.
And just it kept going, it goes over and over and over again, because, we all talk about peace, we talk about the happiness and the calmness and all that other stuff. So how do that generate throughout the other 23 hours of the day, which becomes simple because if you sleep for 8 of it, just leaves 15. So I need to figure out how to get this into 15, which is the way my analytic mind works. So when you started this lesson today, it was, to me, it was like this, okay, let's step back in every situation in order to analyze the situation, to make me understand why am I feeling what I'm feeling in that moment, what am I thinking in that moment, how am I acting in that moment? And through the awareness, through the instantaneous contemplation, reflection, the lessons that we learned, the application of this Eastern wisdom is the answer of how to get to that 24/7. And that's what was going on. And then when we closed our eyes today, I was like, I'm so calm, I'm so happy, yet I'm still thinking about being aware and doing these steps. And I was like, okay, this is where the success lies. And then examples were going on and whatever is, and I won't waste everybody's time talking about that. So
Beautiful.
thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, and that is one of the most important, that 1 hour of contemplation is enough even every day. Because when we contemplate and reflect, we are moving the mind or the intellect to the knowledge. We don't rely on the experience. And I made it very clear, experience is different from the knowledge. You cannot prevent the experience of the mirage water, but the fact that experience is not true. So someone says for example, crazy is not true. That is your experience. So can I challenge that experience? How? By contemplation and reflection, as the Stephen says, is the right way. Wonderful. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. I thoroughly enjoy the lesson, and just mind-boggling how simple concept is.
Yes.
When you kind of distill it down to parking your car in the garage and forgetting about it, and so that was my contemplation during the meditation, and I just had these wonderful moments of just expansion of nothingness. Like is the only way I can describe it.
Yeah. Such a beautiful, you pick up anything, any statement. It is not that I am important. You are important. You absorb that knowledge and you live into that awareness. And you rightly said, how simple it is. You go to the store, you park the car outside, dissociated. Just dissociation. And now you remain attached to the car. Then it becomes very difficult for you to go into the store and buy something. You see, such a simple way. Definitely, you are right, it's such a simple. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. Very similar to both David and Stephen. Just the awareness of the simplicity.
Yeah.
And the mind wants to dwell in the knowledge.
Yes.
The mind, and it is something that we notice throughout the day because there's mud. The mind could lay in the mud, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to at all.
Doesn't want to. You see, that is what happens in the mindfulness, that what others are doing are this, and I am here. So I am knowledge is there, and this is it. So you are not at all influenced or dictated or guided. Why you are guided and dictated? Because of attachment, because of likes, because of preferences. And that causes the mind to wander. Otherwise, there is no reason. You want to make the mind wander, it's so easy. Oh, my car is outside. If someone, you wake up in the midnight, oh, let me recheck all my doors. Unnecessary. It comes due to the concept that we understood today is the mithya, the false. How are you, Terry? She has never complained that she was mad at the maid.
No, I don't. That doesn't happen anymore.
Oh, that's really good.
I do get the urge to check my doors. Does that have to do with things that you're imagining?
You
That
you check
you
it,
imagine,
you check it and dissociate. It's
and
important.
then once you check it, then you have to let go of that.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, that's right. That's why I do it. I check it
Yeah.
so that I
So don't
so that
say, I am in meditation, so I will not check the door. If you say that, that is the craziness of the mind. Check it. If the thought comes, okay, let me go check it, finish.
Right. I'm very relaxed.
Very relaxed. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, even Terry, the relaxation is now a secondary thing. Relaxation is just a byproduct of what we are analyzing and understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, that is what happens with the knowledge. So as we go deeper into this teachings of this master, it it has blown my mind. So how are you, how are you, Brandy?
Good morning, I'm fine, thank you. I'm always kind of amazed at the common thread that seems to run through our experiences, especially on Saturdays. And my analysis today in doing nothing yielded the mind stuff kind of rooted in this concept of survival mode. And I was like, what are you trying to survive?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Chen.
And then it kind of loosened up the grip and the running, because I don't like locking the doors and everything, right? The mud and the stuff, and it's just like, why? Well, you are surviving it, and then until you don't, and it's kind of that simple.
Yes.
I don't know.
Since the origin of the living species, there may be a rudimentary mind even in the plants and all the living species. So that contains an element of survival. That we need to recognize and understand. So, here is an event, this is the way to survive and dissociate. Get dissociated. The moment you dissociate, you find the mind is not putting its pressure with the attachment and detachment, likes and dislikes. That is what the mithya is. That is what the false is. And we get free. And that takes us to 24/7 mindfulness. Fact is, Terry and Brandy and everyone, that whenever I don't go for an evening walk, my honey always goes, so I always check my door after she returns. But that is it. So remain associated with it. How are you, Sam?
Good. I really like the concept you brought up of negation.
Yeah,
I think it's really helpful.
it's helpful. Negate everything. This is the body. I am not. Your mind reaches to that state where you do not even think you have some problem with the body. Sam, are you getting it? Whose body doesn't have a problem? Tell me. The most beautiful, Miss Universe. So the power of negation, definitely, I think, you got the concept clear. Live with it. Very good. Good. And how are you? I don't see. Anesthesia, yes, anesthesia. I don't see Samir, but anyhow, I'll call him.
Thank you. I'm very calm. It was deep meditation. I had a lot of contemplation. I've been contemplating for a while. It took some outside events. Because of them, I fall out of my peace, and it took me a week to come back. And now I'm back and very happy.
Yes,
So.
yes.
This time I had a lot of sensation and thoughts and images, but they were like separated from me and your voice and listening.
Very good. I don't know. Anesthesia sent a couple of emails. Obviously, the country is torn with the war. So sometimes those ideas in the thought comes. But the more we analyze them, we understand them, and only one thing you dissociate. I'm using the word dissociate by understanding this is mithya, this is false. This is not me. First you become free and then do all your activities, all your work, what is required in your life. So that is the way that Stephen we live in the mindfulness 24/7. So perhaps Samir is already still in the state of mindfulness. He's not listening to me. So it's okay. So we'll meet again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.